If you're over 60 and doing everything you were told to protect your muscles, eating eggs, drinking protein shakes, trying to stay active, but still feel weaker each year, this may explain why. Doctors and researchers see this all the time. It's not that seniors aren't eating enough protein, it's that aging muscles stop responding to protein the same way they used to. That's why many people add more eggs or more shakes and see very little change. Here's the part most people were never told. After 60, muscle loss isn't just about how much protein you eat, it's about how your body receives the signal. And some common protein foods send a weak signal to older muscles, no matter how healthy they seem. In this video, I'll explain why certain foods stop working as well after 60, the simple biological reason muscle loss accelerates with age, and one overlooked food that sends a much stronger muscle-building signal without stressing digestion or blood sugar. This isn't about eating more, it's about eating smarter. Here's the part of muscle loss most people were never clearly taught. After 60, muscles don't disappear simply because you're eating less protein or moving less. They weaken because the body becomes less responsive to the signals that tell muscle to grow and repair. Researchers call this anabolic resistance. In simple terms, it means your muscles become harder of hearing. The same protein meal that once triggered muscle repair now produces a much weaker response. This is why many seniors feel frustrated. They eat what worked for them years ago, but their strength still declines. It's not a lack of effort, it's a change in biology. As we age, digestion slows, circulation changes, and muscle cells require a stronger, clearer signal to activate protein synthesis. Without that signal, protein is often used for energy instead of rebuilding muscle tissue. This also explains why simply eating more protein often doesn't solve the problem. Quantity alone doesn't overcome resistance. What matters more after 60 is protein quality, timing, and how the body processes it. Once you understand that muscle loss is a signaling problem, not just a protein problem, the confusion around diet starts to make sense. And the most surprising part is that this isn't about eating more protein at all. And it sets up an important question. Why do some common protein foods stop working as well for older muscles? Eggs and protein shakes aren't bad foods. In fact, for younger bodies, they often work very well. The problem is that after 60, the body processes these foods differently. Digestion naturally slows with age. Stomach acid levels change. Enzymes that break down protein become less efficient. As a result, a protein source that once delivered a strong muscle-building signal may now arrive too slowly or incompletely. Protein shakes can add another challenge. Many are absorbed quickly, which can cause a spike in blood sugar and insulin without delivering a sustained signal to muscle tissue. Younger muscles respond well to that surge. Older muscles often don't. Eggs present a different issue. While they contain high-quality protein, the amount and structure may not be enough to overcome anabolic resistance unless eaten in larger portions, which many seniors find difficult to digest comfortably. This is why people often say, "I eat eggs every day," or "I drink a protein shake," yet still notice shrinking muscles and declining strength. The issue isn't effort, it's that these foods don't always deliver the clear, sustained muscle signal older bodies now require. That's why researchers began looking at foods that behave differently once inside the aging body. That's when researchers started asking a different question, not which food has more protein, but which food sends a clearer signal. The food researchers began paying closer attention to wasn't new or exotic, it was Greek yogurt. What makes Greek yogurt different isn't just that it contains protein, it's how that protein behaves once it's digested. Greek yogurt provides a naturally concentrated protein source that digests more slowly than most shakes, yet more efficiently than many solid foods. This creates a steadier release of amino acids into the bloodstream, exactly what older muscles respond to better. It also contains a higher proportion of leucine, the amino acid most responsible for triggering muscle protein synthesis. That stronger leucine signal helps overcome some of the resistance that develops with age.
Another advantage is tolerance. Many seniors find Greek yogurt easier on digestion than large portions of meat or dense protein powders. Its texture and fermentation process reduce stomach strain while still delivering a clear muscle-building message. This combination, steady digestion, strong signaling, and better tolerance, is why researchers began calling foods like this muscle signal amplifiers. It's not about eating more, it's about choosing foods that speak the language aging muscles still understand. And the reason this works becomes clearer once you understand the biology behind it. To understand why Greek yogurt works better for many seniors, it helps to look at how muscles decide whether to rebuild or slowly shrink. Muscle growth is controlled by a process called muscle protein synthesis. Think of it as a switch. When the switch is turned on, muscle tissue repairs and strengthens. When it stays off, muscles gradually weaken. After 60, that switch becomes harder to flip. Older muscle cells require a clear, sustained signal to activate protein synthesis. Short spikes of amino acids, which often come from fast-digesting shakes, may not last long enough to turn the switch fully on. Greek yogurt behaves differently. Its protein digests at a moderate pace, releasing amino acids steadily rather than all at once. This creates a longer window during which muscle cells can respond. The higher leucine content also plays a key role. Leucine acts as a messenger that tells muscle cells now is the time to rebuild. When that message is strong enough, it helps overcome some of the resistance that develops with age.
Another factor is insulin response. Muscles don't respond to effort, they respond to signals. Greek yogurt tends to produce a gentler insulin rise compared to many sweetened shakes. This supports nutrient delivery to muscles without overwhelming the system. The result isn't rapid muscle gain, it's something more important for seniors, better muscle preservation over time. And once you understand this mechanism, timing becomes the next piece of the puzzle.
When it comes to preserving muscle after 60, timing and consistency matter more than large portions. Researchers have found that aging muscles respond best when protein is spread out rather than concentrated into one heavy meal. Greek yogurt fits this approach well because it's easy to include regularly without digestive stress. One of the most effective times to eat it is earlier in the day. Morning or midday consumption provides muscles with a rebuilding signal when the body is naturally more responsive. It can also pair well with light activity, such as walking or gentle strength exercises, which further enhances muscle signaling. Portion size doesn't need to be large. A modest serving consumed consistently is more effective than occasional large amounts. The goal is to create a repeated signal over time, not to overwhelm digestion. What you eat it with also matters. Pairing Greek yogurt with fiber-rich foods, such as berries or seeds, can slow absorption slightly and support blood sugar balance. Adding excess sugar, however, can blunt the muscle-building signal. Most importantly, consistency beats perfection. Eating the right food once doesn't change muscle health. Repeating it regularly, day after day, is what helps aging muscles maintain strength. And avoiding a few common mistakes can make this approach even more effective. Even when seniors choose the right food, a few common habits can quietly block results. One mistake is inconsistency. Muscle preservation doesn't respond to occasional effort. Eating a helpful food once or twice a week sends too weak a signal. What matters is repetition, giving muscles the same message consistently over time. Another mistake is skipping strength stimulus entirely. Food provides the signal, but muscles still need a reason to listen. Without some form of resistance, even light chair exercises or body weight movements, muscles have little incentive to rebuild. A third issue is pairing protein with too much sugar. Large sugar spikes can interfere with the body's ability to direct nutrients toward muscle tissue, especially in older adults. This doesn't mean sugar must be avoided completely, but moderation matters. Finally, many people expect quick changes. After 60, muscle responds slowly but steadily. Strength and stability improve over weeks, not days. When expectations are realistic, people are far more likely to stay consistent. Avoiding these mistakes doesn't require perfection. It simply allows the biology to work as intended. And once those habits are in place, it helps to think in terms of a simple, repeatable system. When it comes to preserving muscle after 60, doctors and researchers agree on one thing. Progress comes from simple systems, not complicated plans. For the next 30 days, focus on just 3 elements. First, include the muscle rebuilder food consistently, not perfectly, just regularly. Second, pair it with a small amount of resistance. This doesn't need to be intense. Chair exercises, light weights, or controlled body weight movements are enough to remind muscles they're still needed. Third, give it time. Remember, muscles don't respond to effort, they respond to signals. Most seniors don't notice changes in muscle size first. They notice stability, confidence, and ease of movement. Those are signs the biology is working. This channel is for people who want to stay strong, steady, and independent as they age, not chase trends or extremes. If this helped you understand muscle loss more clearly, consider subscribing for future videos grounded in real biology and practical habits. Because after 60, strength isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things consistently.